Okay guys, so I've started up an assembly file and I'm going to bring in my first component. So I'm going to click assemble. I'm going to click my first part and click open. So this is my first component, you can see, and I just want this to be static. So I'm just going to use the default constraint to align all the coordinate systems. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to bring in the nut. In order to get this to fit and work as a mechanism, there are actually two ways to do it. So in this video, I'm going to show you probably the easier way to do it, probably more straightforward, but it is a little bit more glitchy. So that's just something to bear in mind. When I say glitchy, it's just the way that it gets rendered, and it can jump around a little bit, but we'll investigate that when we get there. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our next component. So this is the nut. And what we want to do is just click assemble, got our component, bring it in. And now we're just going to set it up correctly. So I'm just going to rotate it so that it's this way round. And I'm going to use a predefined connection type. So for this, I'm going to use cylinder. So let's align the axis first. So I'm going to click on axis here, and now I'm going to set the translation axis. So you can play around with this yourselves, but I'm just going to set this from here to here. Just set that to 50. I'm going to change this to the new 0 position. So set 0, so that makes it 0. And then the minimum will be 0. And then the maximum, I mean, you can have it as long as you need it to be. I'm just going to put 50 for this example. Okay. So I've set this up. Let's just see what that does. So I'm going to click OK. And now what I can do is click drag, and this will allow me to translate and rotate. So that's what a cylinder connection allows. So you can see it's translating, it's rotating, but it's not following the path. So obviously this wouldn't happen in real life. Okay, so to solve this, this is why I've added this datum point and why we've got this curve in here. So we're going to use something called a slot mechanism. So I'm going to click on this, go edit definition, and then I'm going to add a new set. So add new set, and change this to a slot. And now what I need to do is get hold of this datum point. So click there. And then I need to pick up on this curve. Yeah, there we go, that curve there. So you can see it's attached that point to that curve, so that means that that point will now follow the curve in the slot. Okay, that's fine. So if I move this around, it will be attached, but because of the way that it's rendered, it can be quite difficult. It does jump around a little bit. So we'll have a look. We'll drag it. So if I click on here, if I get the mouse in the right position, it often works quite well, but it can be a bit flaky. So look, if you rotate this around now, you'll see that it is following along the path. However, when you do this and you start going really quickly, you'll see that it jumps around and it's not very stable. Okay. So click OK, click close. If we want to test it out properly, what we need to do is use a motor. So we can go into the Mechanisms tab. So if I go to Applications, Mechanism, we're just going to add a motor on here just to check that it is following the path correctly. So I'm going to go Servo Motors, and then if you zoom in here, you just need to be careful what you actually click, but you're trying to get this rotation axis one. So click on that. Go to Profile Details. I'm going to change the driven quantity to angular velocity. Put 360 for the coefficient, so that means it will go around one rotation every second. So I've got the motor in, and then what we can do is do a mechanism analysis. Let's tidy the screen up a little bit. Let's remove some of these planes. Okay, we could also hide this if we want to. So if I click on there, I can hide that. Hide the copy. There we go. And let's do the mechanism analysis. So I'm not going to do it for 10 seconds. Let's just change it for 3 seconds. Just increase the frame rate. And then let's click run. You can see that it's rotating and following the correct path. Okay. That's good. We can go to playback if we want to. Play. It's just processing. You can see it's taking a bit of time. There's a lot of frames. Let's change the speed. So it goes back. There you go. So it's rotating. Following the path as we would expect. Okay, I've got it going. So it's going backwards now in the animation. Okay, let's close that down. Let's come out of this mode. You can save the analysis if you want. I'm not so bothered about it. And then what we're just going to do is just check that this is all lined up correctly. So I've got a section view here. So let's have a look at this. So activate the section view, and you can see that it's perfectly aligned with the thread. Okay, so that's the first method. In the next video, I'm going to show you the other method that we can use in order to get this to be connected together.